Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to Let's Try Creeper World 3 Arc Eternal. So the Creeper World series is basically more or less made by one guy, and originally I found it on one of those many sort of free Flash game websites that are out there. And they had the free version, and there's one you could also pay that had lots more missions and features, lots of random generation of content, and like lots of procedural stuff, so you basically had infinite gameplay features. And I really enjoyed this series a lot. In the sequel, they changed it to kind of a side view sort of thing, which it was interesting, but for me, the original was still the best. And with Creeper World 3, they go back to the original, I keep saying they, mostly it's a he, went back to the original style of top-down gameplay. It's completely redesigned. It's no longer made using Flash. It's actually made using the Unity game engine now. In this particular version, the maps are much larger. There's a lot of zoom features and a lot more special stuff. So, there is a single-player campaign, which is the Arc Eternal here, and what it does is the story mode and basically acts as your built-in tutorial for the game. It starts you off with very few things unlocked, and as you progress forward, you unlock new things and learn to use them one at a time. There's also the ability to create your own custom worlds and upload them to your website. So there's going to be a built-in sort of level editor tool in here, and then I believe Colonial Space is the ability to browse and download the creations of other players. Now the game has just been released, so this feature is not yet active, but it should allow a lot of replay potential later on. We've also got the Tormented Space option, which is some interesting challenge worlds to go through. But this is unlocked after you, or maybe, I was going to say after you complete the main mission, but at some point during the main mission, this will be unlocked. Same thing with the Prospector Zone. Play missions and collect as many artifacts of Odin as you can. And Alpha Sector, before space as we know it was formed, these worlds were the pillars of reality, precursor worlds. So there is a lot of game content. The tutorial, or not the tutorial, sorry, the main campaign is quite long, unlocks more modes, and then the ability to make all kinds of custom maps are in here as well. So that's one thing I will always say about these Creeper World games. You get a lot of gameplay for your money. The release cost of Creeper World 3 is $15. You can also pay $25 and get the complete set of all three versions of Creeper World unlocked, and we're going to jump into it. It's obviously, it's a small project, indie level game, and at a glance it might not look like much, but I've got to say I find this game to be extremely addictive. Now, I'm trying to debate what to do here, in that if I should replay a mission, or if I should go into a new one. Well, I suppose I'll go into a new one, and we'll see what it's like to figure out a problem and try to defeat it from scratch. I don't know what this one is going to look like, so it might be a really cool one, it might not be. We'll see how it is. So this is the sort of campaign screen. If I go to the sector map, you can see all the general campaign stuff. There we go. These are the three places I can unlock: Alpha Sector, Prospector Zone, Tormented Space. I'm currently on Egos. I've completed one planet, which is Lamal here, but I'm going to go to Choi. I don't know how you would pronounce this one, but let's give it a go. So there's a bit of a story mode here. There's going to be some text up here. I've disabled the sound coming through the speakers because there wasn't actually, or am I thinking of the wrong game? I think I'm thinking of the wrong game, actually. No, this does have a sound thing. That's right. I disabled it because of other reasons. Let me turn that back on so you guys can hear things. Okay, so that should work better. So here's the story mode. We've got this AI with us called Leah, who coaches us along. We've been frozen for 5 billion years. Meanwhile, there have been multiple generations of humans, multiple human empires that have risen up, and then eventually the creeper threat revives again and wipes out all of humanity. This looks like one of the smaller maps, so it's a little cropped here, but they can be very big. So again, these are the earlier maps, so they're going to be a little bit more concise, I suppose. So some flavor text, which I will click next through, but I won't read out loud, so people can sort of pause on each one of these things if you want to read some of the storyline, but we're going to go right to the gameplay. Serious problems in the subspace slips. Oh, that's a pain in the ass. They aren't stable. Oh, so there's going to be moving creep. This is going to be an oddball mission. And that's the thing, in the campaign, every mission is kind of an oddball mission, and that's what keeps it kind of fresh and interesting. Alright. Some shield tech. Oh, shields, yes. Alright. Needs energy. Manage to upgrade more upgrades in the forge. Construct the forge, do some upgrades. And alright. Okay, so let me hit P to pause. So here's the map, and we can see right away there's this blue thing here. This is a creep emitter. If I unpause for a moment, you'll see the creep will start pouring out of that. Also, this mission is talking about these teleport or subspace slips. There's going to be these other little spawn points that keep moving around. Like it spawned a little bit there and then went away. So it's blipping little bits of this creeper all over. It's going to be a bit of a pain because that means that I can't sort of box them in the same way. If you get to one of these emitters, you can shut them down. Some maps have a lot of these emitters. Some maps only have once. On some, they're more powerful than others. It really depends. The fact that this map is pretty flat is... it's going to be potentially problematic. I'm also a little bit concerned about the fact, so I've got these walls, but the creeper will... Some of these things the creeper will eat through. I think these blocks here, the creeper will eat through these. The walls they won't, but they will eventually overflow with these sort of, again, the liquid physics. So I'm going to drop the command center down in the middle to get started. Let's unpause briefly and let that land, and I'll pause it again and talk about what I want to do. So at the very top of the screen, you can see the energy production of my command node here. It's generating 1.5 energy per second. And if I unpause again, this meter will fill up as it banks some. But that's going to be not enough to power everything up. So the very first thing you want to do, generally as a priority, is set up some of these energy collectors. You can see they've got a radius around them. You want to have as much covered by that radius as possible with minimal overlap. So I'm going to go ahead and do something like that, and I'll start a second one there. Now what you'll see, once I unpause again, energy will flow out of the command node and go to these and build them. They need a certain amount of energy to be built. I don't know if it's necessarily specified anywhere, but you can see with each one of these blips, it starts to fill up, and then once it fills up, these will start. See, now I'm generating 1.7 energy per second, and that's completing there, 2 energy per second, and they do that. So I'll go ahead and set up some more collectors. Now, there's always a little bit of sort of min-maxing here in that I could queue up tons of collectors, but the problem is it goes 1 energy to one to the next one, one to the next one, one to the next one. So if you build a whole bunch at once, it's spreading out the production time and giving you very slow overall production. Although I could queue up one here, this one won't get built until the first one does, so that won't impact things. So generally at the start, you kind of want to build only 1 or 2 at a time. And then later on, see, as my energy supplies go up, then I know it's like, okay, I've got some extra capacity here, so I can afford to, build more and more at once. I've collected the shield technology, so this is unlocked a new tool down here. Alright, creeper repulsion field can also block spore hits, but good to know. So now that I'm still paused, I'm actually going to go ahead and queue a bunch of these up. Something rather like this. And like this. Now these missions are timed, and every time you complete a mission, you can upload your score to the main website and compare your performance with others. It also lets you specify a group for your score. So I'm listed as Quill18 as my username, but I'm also always submitting as part of the Quill18 group. So you guys, if you get the game, you can also submit to that group, and then we can compare scores with each other. This is a relay. The relays don't construct any energy, but they have a longer connection range. So it's going to be easy to sort of fit through some of these little bits. And yeah, there are plenty of games that use these sort of mechanics. And that's fine that there's more than one game that uses a similar kind of mechanics. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a fan of them. I want more games that use these mechanics so that I have more options to play with. So let's get more of these collectors. Now, eventually you'll run out of space without getting overlap, and then what you can do is you can turn to reactors. Reactors don't take up any space. They don't need a radius. They do generate a lot of energy. They can overlap pretty safely, but they take a lot of energy to build. So I'm going to throw a few more in here. I'm just watching my energy meter, make sure I don't deplete too quickly. I'm going down right now, so I'm going to stop building anything new. Although I still have lots of things queued up here. So again, my goal is to not end up in a situation where I'm building 10 things simultaneously very slowly. Instead, I want to build a few things faster. Now, if I pause again, there are some little resources in the ground that I could tap directly using the siphon, and they'll actually give me some energy. That's non-renewable. Eventually those will run out, but it's a good way to get energy a little bit faster. In fact, I should have noticed that a little sooner and tapped into them well before I started building everything else. So you can see these barriers here slowly being eaten away by the creep. I really have to get my shield tech going. Okay, we should have lots now that we've got the taps going on. So what I'm going to do is, I haven't played with these shield techs yet, so I should be able to put a shield here. That looks like it'll work. They do say it uses a lot of energy, so hopefully we are producing enough. I suspect that we are, and we'll see what that looks like when it's finished. We might be able to afford, yeah, a few more of these reactors going on, because our energy is going up even with all the shield production. And I think we will want a lot of energy to complete the shield. Taking a lot of energy to build them. Yeah, but powering them will also probably use quite a bit. Alright, that's enough construction of that for now. Now, we've also got weapons that we can use to blow back some of the creep. And in fact, we're definitely going to have to do that at some point. Right now, I'm just looking to end up in a stable form where I've protected these little barriers here. Ooh, they were eating through that last layer. Come on, get those shields online. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Because if the creeper comes in here, it's just going to destroy all of my stuff. What are these things? Oh, those are the totems for my upgrades. Yes, let's go and build a forge. There's an upgrade forge. Just trying to jam it properly. Oh, I missed one of these energy nodes. Silly me. Alright, we've got our shield active, and indeed, it is pushing back the creeper there. So that should protect us very well. Not to mention, it would also give us some extra room to expand. Oops. I overlapped the actual creep there a tiny bit. Alright, I won't worry about it too much. Yeah, I could do that. But it's also a good place to put some guns. Alright, so we are building our upgrade forge, and I will go and put a bunch more reactors down as well. This is not the fastest way to finish this mission. And that's the thing, you know, usually when you're going for a record, you will play through a mission a few different ways and try to see how little energy you can get away with, because the more time you spend building your energy supplies, the more... oh, some creeper did actually get in over here. The shield didn't repel it quite as much as I thought, so let's get a gun going on. And we're gonna, yeah, we'll get a gun ready here, and a few more inside here as well, because we're gonna want these guns. Now, the reason I'm not building them on the edge is I don't want them to start wasting energy firing at the goop, except for right here, because I'm actually interested in clearing away, because our shield generator is actually taking damage here. If the shield generator had gotten destroyed, we'd be in really, really, really rough shape. Did the guns not fire through shields? Is that possible? I'm just going to move him up a little bit. Just trying to see if he fires continuously outside the shield. Okay, he does. Oh, he couldn't shoot through the wall. That's what was going on. Okay, that actually works out really well. Yeah, don't expend too much energy. That is going to be totally fine. All right, so let's pause here and discuss what we want to do. So there's nothing else anywhere else on the map that I need to pick up. All I need to do is I need this shield key, but I also have to turn off the creep generator here so that I can leave this planet once again. So let's we've got lots of power. I think we want to start venturing out of here. What am I going to do? Let's get a couple other weapons online. Mortar is really good, just to show off. The mortar is very cool because what it does is, whereas the laser kind of just shoots at the closest thing. Oh, we got a little bit of creep oozing through here. I think we're going to be just fine though. The laser shoots at the closest creep and does a pretty good job of holding things back as a wave. The mortar will fire a mortar in the deepest piece of creep it can find and detonate quite a lot. It does really well when it can hit very deep creep, so it can clear that up pretty decently. The sprayer is not going to be shown in this particular video because the sprayer produces anti-creep that will that sort of nullify the enemy creep, but it needs ore mines, and we don't have any ore mines going on, so we're not going to be showing that off. We are going to use the planes, though. They're quite handy, both the strafer and... actually, we can't use the bomber, because what the bomber does is it drops some anti-creep somewhere. But I do quite like the strafers to do bombing runs on places and clear some creep at a range. It's quite nice to drop on an emitter, because that's where a lot of concentration of creeper is, and it can really sort of smooth out some of your issues down here later on. Other than that, so you've got beams, which are good for the anti-air devices, or the aerial attack devices, but we don't have any of that here, so that's okay. We've got some upgrade energy stored up here, so we can have more energy stored, more anti-creeper storage, faster energy packets through the network, which is quite nice, more energy efficiency, which is super nice. I'll get a little bit of that to start. More ore efficiency, which doesn't matter on this mission. Build speed, which can also be quite nice. Faster movement speed. There's only one level of that, but we probably make use of that at some point. The fire rates and the fire range. I like the fire range. Fire rates will get our guns working a little bit better. And so my planes, what I'm going to do is box select all of these, and then you do quick click and drag, a sort of strafing run, and these planes will just go back and forth in this area, continuously bombarding things. All right, we'll get a few more cannons queued up here. Again, I'm being overly cautious, but I don't want to fail a mission on screen. That would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it? All right, let's just bulk click a bunch of those. Okay, So now I can move cannons relatively easily. If I can double click to grab a bunch and then move them up here. And one of them might be touching a little bit of creep, but they have some hit points and they should be able to repel things pretty easily. So you can see this, what is it called? Mortar is mostly hitting these deeper pools and generally doing a pretty good job. There's still a thin layer of creep here. If I mouse over anywhere, you can see on this meter down here, it shows you the height of the terrain and also the depth of the creep. So there's only a thin layer of creep here, which is actually thin enough that I would feel confident going ahead and just dropping a bunch of guns right in that area. It'll land in a thin layer of creep, but then it'll immediately start pushing it back, so we should be in pretty good shape. Any more upgrades we can get here? We could increase our move speed, right, for moving like that, which is nice. We are good on energy. Let me queue up a few more cannon constructions, because again, I will need quite a few. And what we also need to do is expand our energy web. I'm going to start using reactors for this now. And reactors won't generate any energy. Let's put one in the base and then one... Oh, sorry, not reactors. Derp relays. Well, alright, so we get a little bit more energy production because I built the reactor, but that's okay. The Terp is cool. It's actually a terraformer. We could build up new walls or dig down and do various things like that. And on some missions, manipulating the environment like that will actually be very, very handy. Alright, so we're safe everywhere. I could quite easily clear the terrain over here because it's not very creeperific. As long as it doesn't get too deep and start going over the walls, that might be a problem. I guess to protect myself against that, I could stick one more kind of mortar maybe here and here, and just make sure that the overall levels go down. It's nice that they fire over the cliff as well. Oh, actually, they are starting to penetrate over here. Ooh, that's not good. So let's do that. But it is water physics, so again, if you keep the amount of creep down other places, it'll help your situation overall. Moving sometimes is a bit risky because, of course, while they move, they're not firing, so that does give the creep period of openness. We're actually running a little low on energy. Oh no! We actually ran out of energy for our shields over here. That is less than good. Okay, you know what? Let's retreat a little bit. I don't want to grab all of them. I want to maybe box select a few and get them over here, and then we'll have to rebuild the shield generator. I don't know if can we move shield? Oh, for crying out loud, I've messed this completely up. Oh no! This should have been a really easy mission, actually. But I think I let myself just run out of way too much energy. Very bad. Very, very bad. Let's get more energy efficiency. That should help save a little bit of power. And improve the packet speeds. I find it really handy to keep things flowing properly in the network. Okay, fight that stuff back. Oh yeah, the shields keep going down. That is less than ideal. Let's pull back just a tiny bit here. Okay, and then rebuild our shield generator. Ack. Rebuild a collector over here and one here, and then a shield generator right there, and hope that it doesn't take too much damage. We'll move the guns forward to try and engage that creep a little bit better. Dang. Move back so that we can build a shield generator right here. We are in serious trouble here. I have not enough energy. I might actually have to restart this mission. Return to base. You guys are costing me some energy, and I want to turn that down. Can I get some more energy efficiency? No. Faster build speed might actually help. I think it means that the buildings will actually use less energy to be built, which is certainly helpful. If I can get the shields up, then I actually need fewer guns firing as well. Let's actually pull these right into the base at this point. Oh man, I've messed this up. What a terrible example. On the other hand, it certainly makes this level more interesting. And that happens a lot. Everything is going great, and you kind of sort of miscalculate a little bit, and everything goes to hell. Alright, we're getting closer to equalizing here, but not quite. We're still low. I'm going to turn off some of these mortars over here. They're not as important. And here as well. Then they won't get any more energy being sent to them. Let's turn that off as well. There's a difference between deactivate and disarm. Disarm means they won't fire, but they'll still take energy up until they're full again. So deactivate just stops all those shipments altogether. Okay, we're now running an energy supply. And actually, I'll increase my storage a little bit because I want a nice pool next time I move up. Because oftentimes there's that temporary sink. Okay, shields are up, shields are up, shields are up. Let's move up to this cliff because apparently we're getting a little bit of oozing there. All right, let's reactivate this. And actually, I'm going to build another mortar in the top since things are overflowing there because they're quite deep. Mortars don't take that much energy. Again, building things, that's usually where your cost hits. Okay, and with that in mind, let's get a couple more reactors online. Our energy storage is going down though. Seriously, wow. Alright, we shouldn't need these 3 guns down here anymore. Oh, I can move the shield generators. Come on, move. I just need the one to protect from any ooze that's already in there, but I don't actually want to shoot anything that's outside the shield radius. It shouldn't be necessary. But this might actually be a good place for another mortar, though. Energy sources are going down. We're getting some ooze coming through. I don't think the shield's quite doing its job. But maybe moving it out will help. Oh, fudge. Get in there, make sure the shield hit points don't drop. It got a little bit low for a sec. Push things back. Okay, now come back inside. And let's go ahead and advance the shield up. And it'll ooze in a little bit, the guns will fire it back, and then the shields should push things away. Okay, I think we have restabilized. We're going to keep this bad boy here to protect against anything oozing in the front. Actually, we can probably push back with the shield a little bit again. We're probably going to be okay. Just watching the hit points of this thing. Good. Okay, well stabilized. So, alright, now, let's build a few more reactors. And try not to go underneath our limit. Okay, we're currently losing energy, but not that much, so we should be okay. We've got some upgrade points waiting for us. Let's get a little bit more energy efficiency and a little bit more energy storage, again, for when we move out. Let's get the bombers strafing again over here. I could build a whole set of shield generators to go out and protect the guns. It's not normally what I do, but I'm not usually dealing with quite this much ooziness. Let's move them out. Actually, I should just fill this whole area with reactors. Play it incredibly safe. Maybe we will build a series of shields. It also means I don't have to leave any guns behind to worry about the stuff back here. Might actually work. Except I'm out of energy again. Well, we can move them, so we can actually build a couple of shield generators inside. Or let it build inside and then move it out. It's probably the safer way. Let's get some relays going as well. Relays have really, really nice range. Alright, let's move all these lasers out. Except for one. I want to leave one right here on the high area. Catch anything that might ooze in through here and also protect the shield generator a little bit. More energy efficiency. Alright, now we've got quite the surplus going on. I'm feeling much more confident. Where's that shield generator? Let's move it out to around here. I gotta make sure that I don't put my guns out of range. I often do that, and then they get screwed because they can't get any more energy to re-ammo themselves. Alright, we're just trying to reach over here. I think we're still stable. Energy is good. We're protected here. Nothing should ooze in over here because the overall levels are being held down by the mortar. All right, good. Set up more relays. I mean, there's an overkill of them, but that's all right. Yeah, that relay was actually kind of on the dumb side. Come on, just box select a few guns, like so. Oh, I did move the shield generator. That's not what I meant to do at all. Keep the shield generator there. Only move the guns forward, and keep doing this sort of leapfrog technique. I feel like you feel really tense because, again, if you do kind of screw up, overextend, you can really screw yourself. So this shield is actually not doing much. It's a good way to push back that initial set of creep and then bring in some guns, keep the situation stabilized, keep pushing out. Again, we might save energy over here if I was using a shield instead of leaving all these guns behind, though. So let's build one there. Oh, and there is the problem that the subspace generator does keep hitting some of these areas back here. So I got to make sure to keep some guns to instantly clean that up in case they kill one of my relays. Oof. I think that sort of thing just happened there. I suppose with the shield, that may not be as much of a problem. Maybe the shield protects against the subspace thing? I'm not sure. In which case I'm going to want one sort of here-ish to protect these relays. Hadn't really occurred to me. I've never played a mission like this before. There was never one like this in the old system because the old system just couldn't support these kinds of mechanics. And this is my first time with the shield tech. It's my first time with the roving sort of subspace producers. Yeah, that's really annoying actually because they're definitely... I guess we'll build the shield inside the shield. Yeah, actually, I guess I should do that there too. Or build the shield generators inside my base and then fly them out. That probably makes a lot more sense, actually. Since there's some deep creep over here, I'm also going to advance with a couple of mortars. Okay, that shield generator is built. It's just waiting for some energy. There we go. Now it's starting to generate a shield. So we'll just scooch out kind of like that. There we go. I just want to protect that relay. Same here with these generators. We'll do something like that. Good. Keep the other one back there. So I don't need these actually firing at creeper outside. I just need to make sure that they cover the inside of the shield area, just in case something happens and things start to penetrate through. Rather like that. Okay, nearly there, and then we can build our nullifier and disable that. Good. Can we stick in a, not a reactor, a relay? It might get destroyed. Yeah. But I still have a shield back here too, so I can actually probably fit in a shield here. We got the relay. It might get destroyed depending on how things happen though. Which would be bad because their shield generator would have no energy whatsoever. Okay, good. Move forward with the guns. And just to be sure, you know what I'm going to do is drop down an extra couple of shield generators inside here. You can also put guns on these little elevated areas, then they're going to be nice and safe. Actually, might be a good place for a shield generator, now that I think about it. Build a relay there. No. I'm going to move this gun down here. Build a relay in that place. Move this gun slightly forward, and then build our nullifier right in this place. Good. Nullifiers have to be built to overlap an enemy building like that, and when it's constructed, it takes a while to construct and then takes a while to charge, but then it will detonate and take that out, and then we will have no more creeper generation, and then it's going to be an easy thing to just clean up a little bit extra, and then grab our shield key, which is all we need at that point. Good, I think we can move this stuff forward here, just to be ready in position to clean up the creeper afterwards, because it's the creep stuff that's around is not going to go away. Just we're not going to get any new generation at that point. Then we should be in fantastic shape. Okay, this is charging up, nearly there. Just needs a little bit more energy. There we go. Expends it all. Blows up the creep generator, or the creep emitter, I should say. And it leaves behind this little power area as well, where you can drop a gun in there, and then you will have massively increased range and fire rate while it's there. Although, I don't think it's actually got power. That's a reactor, damn it. Not a relay. Come on, relay. Yeah, it doesn't have any power, so it's going to run out of ammo in a sec. So let's just swap them around. That relay is going to be built in a sec, and then we'll be okay. Move everyone up. And build one more relay here so it can reach that shield key, and that will allow us to claim that power up and complete the mission in oh my god, like 22 minutes, which is actually a horrible time. I'm sure when we look at the charts, there's probably going to be people that completed it in well under 10 minutes, possibly like 5 minutes. Chance and shield key, so let's claim our victory and see what it looks like. 6 minutes 20 seconds, although that's much faster than next person. So I suppose I shouldn't feel quite that horrible, but it's certainly not a great time. The game's only been out for a day at this point, though, so wait until these records really start to get crushed, and it's going to be scary. But there we go, so I've submitted that. Continue, and then we can go on to the next planet and explore more missions. I feel that it's a really fun, very pleasurable, addictive kind of game to play. I like sort of building up that structure, moving forward. It's always been a lot of fun. The original is still fun to play. Creeper World 1 is still super fun to play. Creeper World 2 as well, although I'm more of a fan of the mechanics in 1 and 3. And it's definitely worth checking out. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.